I would like to give all praises, glory, and honor to YAHAWAH, bahasham, YAHAWASHI, bahasham, Rekakwadash. Double honor to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who I learned this truth. Shalom to the brothers who pushing this truth, gospel, and sincerity to the four corners of the earth to wake up the elect. And to the elect I say, Shalom. Today's topic will be the love of money is the root of all evil. And we're going to jump straight into it by saying that if you idolizing money, or if you like how these wicked ass churches is who pimping the word, turning the Most High's word into merchant, that you will be put to death. YAHAWASHI is not playing around with this wicked ass world, and he is coming to soon bring judgment upon it. And our own people, which are the 2/3 of Israel, they are all turning the house of Yahweh of merchant. They are merchandising these words in scripture, or they are not looking at it as profitable. And because they love money so much that they'll be willing to do any kind of wickedness to achieve it. Money is not wicked. It's just that Jake be out here doing all these abominable things to attain it. And my first scripture is going to be in the book of John, chapter 2 and verse 13. And it reads, and the Jews' Passover was at hand, which is a high holy day amongst us Israelites. It is a very important day that we hail the Passover and keep it holy. But continuing on, it's, and YAHAWASHI went up to Jerusalem and found in the temple those that sold ox and sheep and doves. And in verse 14, it reads, and found in the temple those that sold ox and sheep and doves, and the chargers of money sitting. And when he had made a scourge of small cord, he had made a scourge of small cords, meaning like a whip, and that he was going to take this whip and start whipping people for their wrong. But it reads, he drove them all out of the temple, and the sheep and the oxen, Salakia, and poured out the chargers' money, and overthrew the tables. So YAHAWASHI was very angry, and he was angry at the Israelites for turning the house of Yahweh into merchandise. And this was while the Passover was at hand. So he was furious about what was going on. And the Israelites, they didn't think nothing of it. They thought it was just okay for them to be out there not serving the will of Yahweh, but instead of serving the will of Yahweh, they out here making merchant. Now, when you fast forward in today's time, that principle is still going on. When the men's out here in the highways and the byways pushing this word and warning our people about the forthcoming of the destruction of America, which is Babylon, they are looking at us as not being profitable, or they looking at this word as not being profitable to them. That most of them even say, oh, I'll put it off, I'll wait until later. But when later comes, it's going to be too late for you. But continuing on, when he had made a scourge of small cords, he drove them all out of the temple, and the sheep and the oxen, and poured out the chargers' money, and overthrew the tables, and said unto them that sold doves, take these things hence, make not my father's house an house of merchandise. So he was very angry that the Israelites was out making Yahweh house into merchant, that they were selling things and they were being disobedient on the Sabbath day, which can get you put to death. Because we are told to keep the Sabbath day holy. Now I have a scripture in the book of 1 Timothy chapter 6 First Timothy chapter 6 and verse 10, for the love of money is the root of all evil, which while some coveted after they have earned from the faith and pierced themselves through with many sorrows. So after they have earned from the faith and pierced themselves through with many sorrows. But thou, O man of Yahawah, flee these things and follow after righteousness. So we have to follow after righteousness from Yahawah bahasham Yahawashi. Money is the thing that we need in today's time, but it is not made to be worshiped. It is not made for us to be out here selling our souls to go out here and get it. In fact, let me get that scripture. This Mark chapter 8 and verse 36. For what shall it profit a man if he shall gain the whole world and lose his soul, and lose his own soul? So if someone were to achieve all the powers, wealth, and success in this world, it will be meaningless if they lose their soul, integrity, compassion, or spiritual well-being in the process. Because we are not put here to follow those things. We are put here to serve out our captivity for going off. In those times, they were doing it on the Passover, which could have got them all put to death. Yahawashi made cords, and you see when it's in the scripture, he made cords and started to whip them and beat them and drove them out of the house. That was really a shame on us Israelites for doing that. Ecclesiastes chapter 7 and verse 12, for wisdom is a defense and money is a defense, but the excellence of knowledge is that wisdom giveth life to them that have it. So we must achieve wisdom and knowledge. For wisdom is a defense and money is a defense. But the excellency of knowledge is that wisdom giveth life to them that have it. Put here to follow after this money and be out here selling our souls over to this money. Like in today's time, that times is getting a little rough that people out here are willing to work 16 hours at a job, which is ridiculous because you only have 24 hours in a day. So you only have 24 hours in a day. So if you're willing to work to 16 hours of that time, what do you have time out to read the scriptures, follow behind Yahawah bahasham Yahawashi, or do anything that concerns your personal life, like anything, because you have to sleep for 5 to 8 hours a day in order to be highly functionable for the next day. So there isn't any room for that. Basically, you don't have to eat on the job, and you're gonna have to live through the job, and you go home for a little bit, and then you back at work again the next day. That is ridiculous, and it is unreasonable for you to be spending that much time working. We supposed to be happy with our daily bread and water and not concerned about anything else outside of that. Verse 23 and 4, labor not to be rich. Cease from thy own wisdom. It says, labor not to be rich. Cease from thy own wisdom. After Yahawah bahasham Yahawashi, and we're seeking after wealth, we are falling off the grace of Yahawah bahasham Yahawashi. And then you're going to fall into all these wicked lusts and all these wicked sins. Like I was stating before, you're going to lose compassion. You're going to lose integrity. You're going to lose spiritual well-being. And you're going to be into the world doing worldly things once you achieve the money. There is nothing wrong with having a house and a car, the essential needs that you need to survive with. But what's out? Salakia, outside of that is what else would you want to achieve in this world? Because anything else is given over into the hands of the wicked. So we should be satisfied and happy that Yahawah bahasham YAHAWASHI gave us a job to work, and he's given us our daily bread. He's given us the essential needs that we need to survive because of the kingdom is at hand. We are working to get into the kingdom so that we can live amongst righteous, and we can live amongst YAHAWASHI and Yahawah bahasham YAHAWASHI, Salakia, that we can live amongst Yahawah bahasham YAHAWASHI. Live amongst Esau, Edom, and be out here joining hands with our enemies. This is Matthew chapter 16 and verse 26. For what is a man's profited? For what is a man's profited if he shall gain the whole world and lose his own soul? Or what shall a man give in exchange for his soul? For what is a man's profit if he shall gain the whole world and lose his own soul? Or what shall a man give in exchange for his soul? And today's time, Jake is willing to give up a lot of their time to serve and follow after this money and not serve the will of Yahawah bahasham YAHAWASHI. When we are standing on the highways and the byways pushing his word, Jake walked past it like this doesn't pertain to them. Jake walked past it like it doesn't concern them, or neither does it profit them, which is going off. Philippines chapter 7, it's like a Philippines chapter 3 and verse 7. Philippians, Salakia. This is Philippians chapter 3 and verse 7. But what things were gained to me, those I count loss for Mashiach YAHAWASHI. Yeah, doubtless, and I count all things but loss for the excellence of the knowledge of Mashiach YAHAWASHI, my Lord, for whom I have suffered the loss of all things, and do count them but dung, that I may win Mashiach YAHAWASHI. So basically, all things that's in this world is counted as shit. They does not come close of the excellence of the knowledge of Mashiach YAHAWASHI, which we labor for and we suffer for. We're not here to be made rich. We are here to suffer for the labor of Yahawah bahasham YAHAWASHI. Do the works of Yahawah bahasham YAHAWASHI. And to gain wisdom and knowledge from him. That's why the scripture says, and I count all things but loss for the excellence of the knowledge. What things were gained to me, those I counted loss for YAHAWASHI, Mashiach. Our ultimate goal is to win Mashiach YAHAWASHI favor, so that we can be redeemed in the time of Jacob's trouble. That money is not going to redeem us in that time of Jacob's trouble. That money is going to be burned up right along with the 2/3 and the heathens. But again, I hope this lesson was edified to those who may come across it. Until the next time, Shalom.